Michelle Hammons is a certified high performance coach, the founder and creator of the Visionary Life Group Coaching Program, talk show host, and bestseller. But one of the things that she really shines bright at is mastering the art of helping people lead a visionary life by bringing clarity to their dreams and their goals. Michelle Hammons is our guest today, and she's here to talk about her Visionary Life Group Coaching Program and how it can help you make that breakthrough that you so richly deserve. Welcome to Raven International TV Network. We're super excited about having you here, and I can't wait for you to share more about your Visionary Life Coaching Program. But before we get started, kind of share with our viewers and listeners where you came from and how you got to be the amazing coach that you are, helping people all over the world in moving forward.
Yes, well, thank you, Raven, for having me on today. This is a topic I'm passionate about, so I'd love to talk about it. And my journey to becoming a coach really started with some work that I did as a professional photographer. For 15 years, I worked with people doing weddings and special occasions, family portraits, and those important high school graduation senior portraits that we all love. And one of the things I discovered in working with people is just how we see ourselves, right, from an image perspective. And, you know, when I interact with someone and take their photograph, I want them to look more beautiful in that photograph than they do in real life, right? We enhance things and make you bring out the soulfulness of who you are as a person. And through that work, I really discovered people really have a lot of challenges when even just how we physically show up and look in the world. And so as I thought about moving into more of a laptop lifestyle and income, one of the things I wanted to challenge myself with is how can I find work that I really love and enjoy that still brings that passion and emotion and connectedness to people. And I've discovered that through coaching, because now today in coaching, I deal with both not only the outer beauty and how we see ourselves, but also the inner beauty that comes from within. And we each are divinely made and we're not alike. And so it's just an amazing canvas to work with people individually because they each bring their own uniqueness. And I also love working with people in groups. So that's part of how my journey led me to coaching, is just through those photographs that I took in those beautiful portraits.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up groups, because that's one of the things that kind of makes you unique in a way, is that's what you like to do, is coach people in groups and show them how to coach in groups. Is that correct? Do I have that right?
Yes, absolutely. One of my missions is really to serve, 10,000 people in the world with coaching.
Yeah.
And so I literally would run out of hours trying to do that one-on-one. But I also think there's synergy with groups, because some of the things that we realize in life when we're in a conversation that's meaningful with others is that our struggles are very similar in many ways. And we've all traveled life's path with some celebrations and some heartaches and some heartbreaks and some different things that we experience. And so I think the power of group coaching can really help us connect to ourselves better, because we see that our struggles are not alone, because we hear the stories of our own life through those that share in the group. And that's what I think makes it so powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. I know from my clients, a lot of them, and I like to get your intake on this, are like, they cannot really, maybe they don't have their investment set aside to do one-on-one coaching with me. And so what I found and what I like to offer to them is a group coaching opportunity, because this way they're going to benefit in so many different ways. Plus, it's going to reduce their investment quite a lot. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. And, you're exactly right. When, as a coach, being able to time leverage, serving a group of people at one time allows you to bring the price down significantly from one-on-one. And so that benefits the client, because they get to enter into the same exact program, usually with the same exact coach that is a high performance coach like myself. And with the benefit of group coaching, they get it at that price that might be more affordable or more reachable for them. And so what I love about that is my goal to serve more people is clearly to make it more affordable as well. And so that's another reason I love group coaching is I can make options for people that otherwise may not think they have any if they just look at a one-on-one situation.
Yeah. Well, let's halt for a second and go back, take a couple steps back and really explain and feel free to elaborate what exactly group coaching is. Because some of our viewers and listeners may have never been involved in one. We both had our first time and it is different. And a lot of times you don't know quite what that means. Can you kind of paint a picture of what your group coaching looks like?
Yes, absolutely. And I always like to just take us back to like elementary or junior high school when I explain this, because remember when you were on a particular team, maybe you played a team sport or something, you had a coach that coached the whole team. And that's really what group coaching is.
Yeah.
And it can be a little different in a corporate setting. It can be in a team setting. And then it can just be individuals that are coming together that may not have any likeness to each other. So sometimes it's a group of coworkers working on a similar mission in like a corporate setting, or it can be a team of people who have like interests, right? So they may be connected by their interests, but they don't necessarily work. They might work independently, for example, like entrepreneurs. Or then there's this kind of mishmash, if you will, of people that might come together because they just enjoy the personal development journey and they're working on their self and they want to work on their self in that group setting with others. So there's kind of 3 flavors of group coaching from my perspective. But that's what it is. And so when you get in a group coaching session, typically there's some teaching of whatever the topic is for that particular session. And then there's some live interaction and Q&A that happens during the session. And so most of the time, there's a nice balance of ebb and flow where different people engage. And then sometimes people like to just be in a group setting and they like to just kind of be quiet and take it all in, or maybe they like to be very engaged. And group coaching allows you to do kind of plug in where you feel most comfortable in that setting.
Oh, I love that. Plug into where you find most comfortable. Yeah. And another really good thing I found is that most of the time, if you're too shy to ask a question, someone in that group is going to ask the question that you just kind of, I want to ask this, but I'm not feeling comfortable yet. And I get excited about that because I've been in that situation. A lot of people don't know I'm an introvert. When I'm not behind this mic, I'm just introverted as you can get. And so a lot of times I'm like, I want to ask this question, but I don't know. Should I ask it? Is this appropriate? Maybe I should ask them privately. And then I'm surprised when someone asks the same doggone question, Michelle. I love it when that happens, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of like the first person jumps in the water first, right?
Yeah.
Is part of that. And yeah, what I like about that is it does really allow for that space, right? Where if you kind of want to check it out. You don't always have to be like, as an introvert, you're not super engaged, but you want the benefit of hearing and being a part of that. And that is a very different thing than one-on-one coaching, because in one-on-one, it's totally focused on you. And so you have to come up with the questions and the answers. And so sometimes I think in that group setting, and I'll equate this back to when I shared a personal trainer with someone. We shared this session and I was excited because I wasn't sure, how that was going to go. And the days that my partner would not show up, I would be the the sole focus of the session. And it was brutal and painful, right? Because I had to be there with the trainer that whole time myself when we initially signed up to have it shared. And so that's the other part about it, is like it can take some of the pressure off. You can kind of relax into it a little bit more and hear and see what other people are doing before you have to speak up. And you don't have to speak up at all. You can just participate in the calls, but maybe remain a little silent in the background.
Yeah, yeah. And the answers that you get, the participation, you're getting that from the leader, but then you have other people maybe that have experience and they're masterminding a little bit. So group coaching, that's a lot of the pluses. But let's play devil advocate a little bit. Any minuses in this?
Well, I think there's a couple that I would point out. Sometimes, depending on where you're at in your own growth journey, you might have big goals and dreams that you're really working on, you're very focused on. And so sometimes what I find is people will rise up out of group coaching into one-on-one coaching because they do need that extra personalized attention, or they've got some laser focus that that group setting doesn't allow for them to have the attention and time dedicated to them. So I think that's part of the discovery process, but I
Yeah.
think group coaching is the place I always recommend someone start, just to get comfortable. And then you can always move into the one-on-one relationship if that's appropriate and feels comfortable. But that's probably one of the downsides. So if you are in, an intense place in your life where you're setting dreams and goals and you need that one-on-one attention and time just to focus on you, then group coaching might be challenging in that it might be more affordable, but it might not be as effective for where you want to be.
Okay, so how do you educate or get people that are kind of shy, introverted, not quite sure if this is going to work for them? They really do prefer your one-on-one VIP day, but they just can't invest it. How do you ease them into the comfort zone of being, the comfortableness, I should say, of being in a group coaching? Is there a process you take them through?
Well, yes, there is actually. I start all of my engagements with a client or a potential client with a discovery session. And
Mm-hmm.
really, the intent there is just what it says, it's to discover, right? To discover you, to discover what's important to you, to discover how we interact together, if there's a connection that we can build. Because I think that's important when you look for a group or a coach, to be
Mm-hmm.
connected to people that are like minded and that also you feel comfortable with and that you trust. And so we do have some ground rules in group coaching that I always cover and go over. And that's, that we're here to grow and develop. And so we're going to play by being kind and supportive to each other, as well as maintaining that important confidentiality. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think there's things that we cover to get people more comfortable with the process. And it's very light, and we move through it quickly. So most people are very adaptive as they have that discovery call and kind of understand what, it kind of sets the stage for
Mm-hmm.
what the performance is going to be, so to speak. And then
Mm-hmm.
when we get into that first call and people start sharing and interacting, then it just kind of takes off and has its own, it takes its own style.
Oh, yeah, on life, so to speak. I know one of the things that I really love about group coaching calls is, especially on the first call, the facilitator, the leader like yourself, will usually share a little bit about them. And then sometimes, depending on what type of group coaching it is, whether it's part of a product or so, they may even open it up for some of them, if it's a small group of 20 or 10 or something like that, to introduce themselves. Or if it's a larger group and that can't be done, they will connect a Facebook group with it and allow people to introduce themselves and get them hyped and ready for the coaching. If that is something you do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because that's an important piece of the community that comes
Mm-hmm.
with a group. And yes, I do. With all my group coaching, I have a private Facebook group. So again, it's private, locked down, not to the public. And what we do in there is, from the time we leave our session, we're going to give you new tools and principles and practices to go challenge yourself to put in place between that session and the next one.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Life inevitably shows up and happens, and we have obstacles and challenges and fears and things that come up. And so that group is a great way to jump in and say, hey, I'm really struggling with this in between the session times. Or, hey, I'm running across this. How would you handle it? And just throw it out to that team who ultimately, engages and shares their perspective with the group. And so I find that those Facebook groups or communities like that, whatever method or platform you might use, really creates friendships and engagement. And you find accountability partners in those groups as you go along, like-minded people that might be working on similar
Yes,
things.
yes.
And it's just a great way. It's a great way to just raise the level of engagement, and it helps raise the level of the investment that you've made in yourself.
Yeah. We just had a question came in from Hawaii, and they were asking, John in Hawaii says, is it a safe place? Is it to be you? Or because other people are there, is this whatever you share going to be out to everybody in the internet? A good question. Thanks, John.
Yeah, it's a great question. So confidentiality is very important in group coaching or in one-on-one coaching. And
Mm-hmm.
so, yeah, there is an agreement that everyone that participates does sign off and agree to the ground rules that we follow. And they're pretty much kind of going back to those honoring our commitments and honoring confidentiality with what people share. And, there's always an opportunity to raise your hand and say, hey, I think I have a little issue here that maybe I want to just talk with you one-on-one for a few minutes. And most coaches I know will allow space for that. So I do that too. If there is a highly confidential matter that, is not appropriate for a group discussion, which there are some things like that, then just raise your hand and ask for that support when you need it. And I think most people are willing to include that as part of that. I know I am. And so that's one way we do it. The other thing is, like I said, we lock down those Facebook groups and the membership in terms of who has access to the sessions and being able to register for the sessions in a way that we know who's on the call and we know who has been permitted to join. And so I think those are some of the safety and security measures. But I also think that all coaches that I'm aware of, and including myself, we go through a pretty heavy screening process, because you're not going to join a coaching program unless you really have some intention to level up your life and make changes and improve. And so we're going to weed out anyone right up front that has any motives of collecting any information. I mean, it would just be really rare that anyone makes it to a final cut that has that kind of motivation.
Yeah. And again, that goes back to the Facebook group. That's why you set up private Facebook groups so people can get to know each other, feel safe and engagement. And usually, if I'm not wrong, and correct me if I am, you kind of set that up a couple weeks before the actual group coaching call because you want them to be comfortable on the phone. Can you kind of speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So in that secret, and it's really actually a secret Facebook group, so you can't even search it. You only can get
Isn't
it.
that cool? Yeah.
You can only get it
Or
by
share
having
it.
the
Yeah, you
secret
can't
code.
share it.
And so, yeah, we bring on the first topic. We introduce the ground rules. We introduce, hey, jump in and tell us a little bit about your life, why you're here, why you chose group coaching, share with the group what you want to share. And that gives an opportunity for some interaction to start to take place before we actually get to that first live session. And it does create some camaraderie and, glad you're here. And then we see that people are literally joining from all over the world. And so it kind of creates some fun culture and geographic things as well.
All right, we got to pause this show for a quick second, simply because I'm feeling like the Wicked Witch on Dorothy. I'm melting. My seat is going lower and lower. So, there you go. Okay, I'm like, wait a minute. I'm getting littler and littler. We're here with, coach extraordinaire, Michelle Hammons, and she's talking about her visionary coaching program. And you're tuned in to the Raven International TV network. We're going to go to a quick commercial, and we'll be back right after this commercial break. All right, everyone, welcome back to Raven International TV, the world's leading positive programming network, 24/7. You can get lifestyle, health, wealth, empowerment, sprinkled with a little celebrity interviews right here on Roku and Amazon Fire TV. If you have not gotten rid of your cable, you might want to rush out to Walmart or Targets or Amazon and get your Roku or Amazon Fire TV so you can watch us and pick and choose the programs instead of paying that high, that bill that you get when you get your cable bill. No more. Roku and Amazon Fire allows you to have a menu of the shows you like, and you can download those apps and watch them anytime. And guess what? It's free because you have invested into the hardware. Make sure you go to Raven International TV Network or Raven TV when you get yours and download our app, and be sure to give us a 5-star rating if you like us. Yeah. Our guest today is Michelle Hammons, the founder of the Visionary Life Coaching Program. I'm Raven Blair Glover, Raven, a talk show maven, and we are so glad to have you back. So, Michelle, much like I teach my clients how they can get more out of going to a live event instead of just going to a live event and meeting everyone and just throwing themselves in it and walking away overwhelmed. I would imagine that you got a secret sauce that you show people how to get the best out of a group coaching. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, just like when you participate in a live event, you have to
Mm-hmm.
show up ready to engage with others, right?
Right.
That's part of the prerequisite. But very similar to a live event, I love that you brought that into this mix. A group coaching situation can really give you that similar kind of experience where you can network and get to know new people and like-minded individuals, but
Mm-hmm.
without all the travel, time, and cost associated with attending a live event. And so the other thing is a lot of times live events are, maybe a couple of hours or half a day or maybe a weekend event. And group coaching typically is going to go for 12 weeks. And so you're going to be working with people for several months as you go along. And so there's time to build those relationships with others. And so those are just a couple of the things I think you've got to show up ready to engage and be willing. And if you're enrolling in group coaching or a live event, you've already probably cleared that hurdle for yourself. So it's just a matter of participating and really being open and honest with where you're at and where you want to be.
Absolutely. Mary from Wisconsin, she says, what makes group coaching more affordable, Michelle, to participate? And can I really save? If so, how much?
Yeah, absolutely. So, a typical group coaching program may even run as up to 50% off of what one-on-one would be. So, for example, in a group coaching setting with my program, it usually runs around $1,500 for the 3-month sessions, whereas the one-on-one runs right at around $5,000. So it's a pretty
That's a huge
significant.
savings. Yes.
It's a huge savings. And so
Yeah.
that's why I always encourage you to explore that for yourself because some people are just apprehensive and think, oh, it's too expensive and I can't afford it. But the group coaching option really does bring it affordable for most people and make it, something that's reachable.
Oh, here's a good one. Lorena in Atlanta says, sometimes I feel stuck in my own thoughts and ideas. How can group coaching help me with that, Michelle? Good question, Lorena.
Yeah, that's a great question. We all get stuck and need more clarity from time to time. And it can happen at different points in our life and in different areas of our life. And again, just being in that group setting and hearing other people, that you'll determine that, like, you know what, maybe you're not the only person stuck with your exercise routine, or maybe you're not the only person stuck with what to make it as a healthy meal for dinner, or how to improve your relationships with those important loved ones. So you just start to hear that other people are in the same process and same journey that you're in. And that makes you less stuck because you start to see there's a place to pivot to, you don't have to remain stuck.
Yeah. Christina in Pasadena, California says, I need accountability to stay on track. How does group coaching help with holding you accountable?
Yeah, well, like I said earlier, we have the Facebook group that's set up to be that accountability, and you meet other people, and then just checking in weekly. Just like that's one of the things when we think about like Weight Watchers, for example, what's made that program so successful over the years is that check-in, right? That weekly weigh-in that you have to do. And so coming to those group calls every week, you have to own your accountability to show up and be present because it's your choice to be there. And so through the process, it just inherently takes place.
Ellie wants to know in Detroit. Ellie says, what if I can't make it? Am I going to lose because I can't always come? And how many days or weeks is the group coaching? Very good question. Thanks, Ellie.
Yeah, so typically it's a 12-week engagement, and that's a great question because, inevitably a holiday will come up or vacation will come up or somebody might be sick. And so we typically do record the audio calls and we do make them available to the members of the group only. And again, it's locked down and private. And those are limited, but you do have a window in case you're out of town or traveling or something that you're not able to make it, you can catch up and stay engaged. And we always recommend that you join live and really commit that time live and to be active. Otherwise, you miss that opportunity for the interaction. You can still catch the material if you do have to miss a session, but it's nothing like showing up live.
Well, you know what? We're almost out of time, so I'm going to turn it over to you and just talk to the audience, both the listeners and the viewers, on anything that we missed that you feel is important for them to know, how they can get in contact with you. And I think you have a free gift as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, one of the things I would say is important is if this is something you've been considering, there's probably something nudging at you internally, like going, I need to do something different. I need to make some changes. I'm not even sure what to do, but I need to work with somebody to get to a new level or, change my career, change my job, change my relationships. Then this is the time to really think about a discovery call. And I know we're going to put the link of make it available to you, but that is a complimentary call where you and I get on a phone call and we talk one-on-one about your dreams, your goals, your challenges, and we really start to shape up and formulate how this would serve you. So by the end of that call, it's going to be clear and obvious to you how much this will benefit you if you just take that first step of action. And that's the hardest part, is just moving forward into that action. So I make that available to you because I know how important it is, and I know it can be life-changing if you take advantage of it. And so you can do that by following the link for your discovery call. There's also a free report that I make available, and that's just a free report on getting the benefits of getting organized. That's the big part that a lot of people struggle with. And so you can go to michellehammondscoach.com/Roku for Roku TV, and that is available for you to do that. And you're going to get this report that's just going to share some tips and ideas to help get you started in processing your life and getting more organized in all areas of life. So those are just a couple of ways. And of course, you can always find me on LinkedIn at Michelle Hammons, or you can reach out to me on Facebook.
Okay, well, I'm sharing your visionary life. I believe this is the report that you're getting free. So as we close out, I'm going to mention everything in here, and all I want is a one-liner. Okay, the benefits of getting organized is part of the visionary life. Less stress. Give us one sentence on that.
Well, when you can clear the clutter and know the priorities, it's just going to create less stress.
More time.
Being mindful of your time. It's your most precious commodity, and you've got to be intentional about your time.
Ready for the unexpected.
Life is inevitably going to show up. And so you got to be prepared for what the challenges will be and to get right back on track.
Better health.
Taking a serious look and inventory of your health and making sure that you are taking care of you. You're your most important asset.
Nothing feels overwhelming anymore.
Again, having some organization and order and being organized with your time, that overwhelm starts to diminish and you start to get clear and actually feel a sense of freedom and more time.
More energy.
Yeah, who doesn't want more energy in life, right? This is an important one, and we can focus on the mental and the physical energy as you go forward.
Yeah, I want to be like that pig on, what's that, Geico or one of those commercials. Wee, wee, wee. Oh my God, I love that. I mean, that's the kind of energy, I don't know about you guys, that I want. The next time you see Raven, because I would have taken her class, and you're going to be like, wow, Raven is super hyper. And I'm going to say, wee, wee, wee. Michelle, this has been a pleasure. Thank you so much. You want to give everybody that website one more time?
Sure. If you just go to michellehammondscoach.com/Roku, ROKU, that will get you the free report. And like I said, it's got a bunch of great tips and tricks. It's common sense, just things that you don't think about every day. So I challenge you to go get it. It's free and it'll help you.
All right, everyone, that's a wrap. Raven International TV, world's leading positive programming network. Don't forget to catch every show that you see here. You can also listen to it on our Amazing Women of Power podcast showcase, and share us with a friend and check her out. Oh, be sure to go to raventvdeals.com, raventvdeals.com, and check out and support all the businesses that are on there. And make sure you look for Michelle. You'll see her logo here. And reach out to her and see what she's got cooking up in there too. The Visionary Life Group Coaching Program with Michelle Hammons. Oh, she's all that, a bag of chips and some M&Ms on the side. Yes, she is. That's a wrap, y'all. Bye.
My name is Jennifer Perona, and this is my 30th anniversary with Mary Kay as an independent beauty consultant. And this year will also be my 18th anniversary as an independent sales director with Mary Kay. And I have been coaching with Michelle for a few short months, although she has been telling me for quite a while that if I would just make a few changes and work with her, that I would be able to do more than I've ever done in my business in a short time. And that's actually happening. Our weekly sessions have made a huge difference for me. My goals are clear, and some dreams that I've had are coming to pass this year, early in the year. My year ends June 30th. And I am about to complete a year-long goal 4 months early. And our company offered a cruise for the first time this year, and it could take 6 months to earn it, but I'm going to be finishing it tomorrow in 2 months. And I really 100% credit my training with Michelle is what is getting me there. So I highly recommend working with her if you want to do new things and be stretched. There's so much opportunity for growth when you realize the habits and routines that you can change that can really make a difference. So I'm so excited on stage this year in Dallas to be celebrating some big achievements on my 30th anniversary with Mary Kay. Thank you.
Michelle has, without a doubt, changed my life. With her coaching style, her challenges, and her expertise in the industry, I have been able to accomplish more, create more, and enjoy my own life more fully. I would encourage anyone seeking to improve their work or personal life to utilize her coaching experience. She will bring out the high performer in you and help level up your life.